So the next part we will do is we're going to start using or creating a function called RemoveFromCart and then UpdateQuantity and so on. So we can see a little bit more in the cart section. Now the first one we'll do is RemoveFromCart. Cart. And we'll set this equal to, we'll do parentheses, we'll do fat arrow, we'll do the curly brackets. So inside of the RemoveFromCart, we only really need access to one thing, which is the product ID. So we delete or we work with the correct one. Product ID, and this is a string. So we have that. So I'm going to zoom in again. So that's the first part. Pass through that so we can check or use this one. The next part we'll do is existing item. Woo! Let's go. Equal, and I'm gonna not have it completed for me. And we're just as before, we're going to check to see if it exists, and if it do, then we'll do a if check, if statement to do specific things. So go to the card, go to value, because we're using ref, use a find. So once it finds it once, it stops. No need to use a filter. That will go through all of them. Same as before. Find item dot underscore ID equal to product ID. So if it's the same, then you can do things. So it's storing that piece of item if it finds it in this one, so we can check. If existing item has anything in it, again, if this becomes true, if the item is there, we want to remove it, then you do things. And the first thing we'll do is we'll grab the cart.value and we will filter things in this case, not just find, but we'll, here we go, filter things, because there can be more than one thing in the cart, right? And we're going to make a change to the local storage here, and we will set actually this. So since, if you just go through it again, if the item exists, we contact the cart value, we filter items through, and again, this is the change from up here. We have a not sign. So this is a way we can remove items from the cart array here. And then at the finally, we will do local storage and set items. So we will update it to the correct version if we've removed item here in the way we have it. So oops, go away. So this is the remove cart, and we'll just make sure we export this in the remove or in the return down here so we can access it. And the next one we'll do is we will set up a const for update quantity. There we go. Parentheses, fat arrow, curly brackets. There we are. And in here we need to have access to two things, or have two things passed through. One of them is, of course, as we remove the product ID, as before, ID, and it's a string. And the next one is the thing we want to update, which is the quantity, and that's a number. So once inside this, we're going to create a constant called item to store information in cart value .find item product ID, just as we had before. Make sure if it exists, we store it in item, so we can do a check based on this. Next, we'll do local storage, set item, and if we have it, put it into the quantity. So if you update it, plus, minus, whatever, plus 1, minus 1, we update the local storage so it's correct. And then we'll have a if check for the item here. And the thing we want to do an if check on is the is we're going to contact the item.quantity and set it equal to quantity, or take the value here and make sure it's being updated correctly if we have an item. That's the first part. Now, inside this if statement, we actually need to do another if statement. So once if we go to the front page here, so once I click this and the quantity goes below 1, so 0 or less, it shouldn't be less at any point, then we will actually use or invoke this function up here, remove from cart. So we'll just remove it completely if it goes below 0. So we are going to go back to the solid principles and the SRP, so single responsibility function, instead of having this functionality inside of the update quantity as well. So inside this, still inside the if statement here, we will do another if check. And the thing we want to check to again is the item quantity is smaller or equal to 0. You can just say smaller than 1 as well if you want to, that's fine. And in here we are going to call the remove from cart, and then we'll pass through the product ID, which we have access to here. And we need to have it passed through up here into the remove cart, because that is expecting a product ID, so we can delete the correct one, not just a random one. Immediately after this, we'll do else, and we will update our cart. If we don't have this functionality to be run, we'll just make sure we update the local storage correctly. And then at the end, we'll just do a console log to be able to check to see if everything is running accordingly as we're expecting it to. Update quantity, and we'll pass through the let's do a different one. Let's do one of these, a slash, that one, the other one. Let's do a template literal instead, so we can pass through some information. So here we will do not that one, product ID and quantity. Let's do quantity first row. So we can actually see the product ID being passed through, and then the quantity amount that will be updated for this. Make sure you export it, so update quantity in our functionality down here, and then we have the two first things to update and remove items from our basket. Whoops, wrong button.